Okay, let's start with a pretty big idea. What if everything you've ever learned, all those assumptions, the beliefs you grew up with, what if you could just sort of set it aside? And in that space, embrace something totally new? Our source material today calls it a new dream.
Yeah, it's a powerful concept.
So today we're doing a deep dive into this material. It makes a really profound claim that your reality, the one you're living right now, is actually your creation.
And crucially, that you can change it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That you have the power to transform it, like right now in any moment.
Yeah.
So our mission here is to really explore that, to dig into this idea that shifting how you see things, your perception, is the way to, well, create heaven on earth.
And it's important to stress this isn't pitched as just, positive thinking or some nice fantasy.
Right.
The source presents it as a tangible shift, something you can actually do using your imagination. A way to change your experience from, well, what might feel like hell sometimes, to experiencing heaven. It's about consciously picking your reality, not just passively putting up with it.
Okay, let's unpack that core idea then. Because the source, it jumps right in, almost challenges you, saying, forget everything you have learned in your whole life.
Which sounds drastic. Right.
Totally. But it seems the point isn't just to erase your memory. It's clearing the ground for this revolutionary idea.
Yeah.
The dream you are living is your creation.
Yeah. And if you created it,
you can change it.
Yeah.
You made the personal hell, maybe unintentionally. So you equally have the power to create heaven. The question then is, well, why not choose a different dream?
And the how involves using, as the source puts it, imagination and new eyes of perception.
New eyes.
What's fascinating here is this invitation to literally see the world with different eyes.
How so? What does that mean practically?
Well, it elaborates. It means perceiving love coming out of the trees, love coming out of the sky, love coming out of the light.
Okay, that's quite poetic.
It does, but it's framed as more than just imagery. It's about a conscious shift in awareness, choosing to filter everything you perceive through love, unconditional love.
Even difficult things.
Apparently, yes. Even when others seem sad or angry, this viewpoint suggests you can look deeper, see the love underneath those surface emotions, recognize that connection.
Right?
It describes this as living in a state of bliss where you perceive love flowing from everything, from yourself, from others, from nature.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting for me, because this new dream, it's not just some internal feeling, right? It has real-world implications for your freedom.
Absolutely. Big implications.
Imagine living without needing to constantly justify yourself, your existence.
Yeah, think about the energy that takes. Always trying to prove you're good enough or worthy enough.
Right. And this dream, the source says, it just cuts through that. You're just free to be who you are, no apologies needed.
And then there's freedom from conflict, both internal conflict and conflict with other people, having, as it says, permission to be happy, to actually enjoy your life.
Permission to be happy. That's powerful. And then the freedom of expression.
Yes.
Not being afraid to voice your dreams, knowing what you want, what you don't want.
Yeah.
And being able to say yes or no freely, without that fear, that guilt, that sense of obligation hanging over you.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, those personal freedoms, they naturally extend outward, don't they, into how you deal with the world.
How so?
The source talks about living without the fear of being judged by others.
Okay, that's a big one for most people, I think.
Huge. It means you stop basing your actions on what you think others might think. You realize, hey, I'm not responsible for their opinions or their reactions.
And you can't control that anyway.
Exactly. And it also means letting go of needing to control anyone else or letting them control you. It's about releasing all those external pressures that box us in.
And it's reciprocal, isn't it? This freedom. It flows both ways.
That's a key point.
So if you're not afraid of being judged, maybe you also stop judging others.
Precisely. The source suggests this perspective leads to incredible forgiveness. You can just let judgments go easily. You don't need to be right all the time.
Or make someone else wrong.
Exactly. It fosters this mutual respect for yourself and for everyone else.
And then let maybe the biggest freedom of all. Freedom in love.
Tell me more.
Living without being afraid to love or afraid of not being loved back.
Wow.
No fear of rejection, no needing acceptance from others, being able to just say, I love you openly, honestly.
Without shame or justifying it.
Yeah, and without that underlying fear of getting hurt.
This really raises an important question then. What are the ultimate fears that this new dream actually dissolves?
Good question. The source lists quite a few, it says. No longer being afraid to take risks, to explore life.
Okay.
No fear of losing anything. No fear of just being alive.
Which is surprisingly common, that subtle fear of truly living.
Right. And even, remarkably, no fear of dying.
That's profound.
And maybe the most profound bit, it talks about this radical self-love, unconditional, loving yourself just the way you are.
Body and emotions, flaws and all.
Everything. Knowing you are perfect just as you are.
Perfect.
And here's the kicker. The source just states it plainly. They are all entirely possible.
Not just nice ideas, but actually achievable.
Yes. It describes this achievable state as the state of grace, the state of bliss, the dream of heaven.
And what's that like?
It says being in bliss is like being constantly in love, like floating on clouds. You just perceive love everywhere you go.
Okay, but how? Is there proof this is possible?
Well, the proof offered is simple. Others have done it.
Ah, people have actually reached this state.
Apparently so. By changing their agreements, those deep beliefs we hold, and by consciously dreaming a different dream, the assertion is really direct. Heaven on earth is truth.
And as we dig into this, it's clear this core idea, it isn't entirely new, is it? It echoes through so many traditions.
That's true. The source points that out too.
Yeah, it draws parallels. Moses called it the Promised Land.
Buddha called it nirvana.
Jesus talked about the kingdom of heaven.
And the Toltecs, who influenced this source, call it the new dream.
It's the same fundamental concept, just different names. What's also interesting is the reflection on why, say, 2,000 years ago, hardly anyone was ready to hear this.
Why was that?
The source suggests many people felt, well, empty inside. Their hearts couldn't grasp the love and peace being described, maybe because they just couldn't imagine it was possible for them.
That makes sense. So what does this all mean for us now? If this new dream is possible, what stops us? What are the obstacles?
Ah, yes. The source definitely acknowledges the hurdles. It talks about the dream of the planet.
The collective dream.
Yeah, basically the sum total of all the beliefs and agreements humanity has kind of inherited or agreed upon, and our own identity gets mixed with it.
Okay.
And within that big dream, there's what it calls the fog. That's all our personal beliefs, our agreements that cloud our perception.
Like a mental fog?
Exactly. And lurking in that fog is the presence of the parasite.
The parasite.
That sounds ominous.
It refers to those internal voices. The judge, the one that constantly criticizes you.
Oh, yeah, know that one.
And the victim, the one that feels sorry for itself, says, poor me.
Right, the judge and the victim.
And these voices, this parasite, make it really hard to let go of old patterns because, and this is a strange twist, suffering makes you feel safe.
Safe. How?
Because it's familiar. It's the known territory. Even if it's painful, change feels risky.
Wow. Okay, so we cling to suffering because it feels known.
In a way, yes. But the source says that in that state of bliss we talked about, the matot, that's the word for all that chaotic internal chatter, the mental noise and confusion, it has gone on a permanent vacation. It's just gone.
Silence inside.
Peace. But this brings up a crucial point, doesn't it? If bliss is possible and the noise can stop, why do we keep suffering?
Yeah. The source offers a really profound, almost startling idea here. It says, there is really no reason to suffer.
No reasons at all.
That's the assertion. The only reason you suffer is because you choose to suffer.
Whoa. That's a tough one to swallow for many people, I'd imagine. It could sound like blaming the victim.
It could, but I think the context is key. It's not denying that pain or hardship happens. It's about our relationship to it. Do we choose to perpetuate the suffering around the pain?
Okay. The choice isn't about the event, but the response.
Exactly. And just like suffering can be a choice, the counterpoint is happiness is a choice.
So it's not just something that happens to you.
It's something you actively choose. Even when things are tough, you can choose a perspective, an inner state that leans towards peace or love rather than prolonged suffering. It's choosing the familiar pain versus choosing the perhaps unfamiliar path of happiness.
Okay, let's just sit with this for a second. This ultimate decision the source puts right in front of us. It suggests we all face this destiny of being human, right?
Yeah.
Stuff happens. But within that, we have this fundamental choice.
What choice is that?
To suffer our destiny or to enjoy our destiny. To suffer or to love and be happy.
Wow.
To live in hell or to live in heaven. Not as places after death, but as states of being, right here, right now.
That really frames it starkly, doesn't it? The choice, when you put it like that, it sounds so simple.
Simple, but maybe not easy.
No, not easy, perhaps, but
Right.
simple in its essence. And the
Yeah.
implications for your life are just monumental.
Yeah.
And our source, it wraps up this section with a very direct question, a challenge, really, to the reader, and I think, by extension, to you listening right now.
What's the question?
It says, "My choice is to live in heaven. What is yours?"
Leaves you hanging there, doesn't it? Makes you think.
It really does.
And the vision painted, if you do make that choice, it's pretty compelling. The source says the world is actually very beautiful and very wonderful.
Despite everything we see sometimes.
Right. And that life can be very easy when love is your way of life. It emphasizes that love in action only produces happiness.
Love in action, so it's not just a feeling, it's doing.
Exactly. And this happiness, it's described as the lost paradise, something we've forgotten but can reclaim. And potentially it represents the future of humanity.
So choosing this isn't just personal, it's potentially evolutionary.
That seems to be the implication. It's an invitation, really,
Yeah.
to consider that by changing your own perception, by choosing this new dream, you're not just making your own life better. You might actually be part of shifting something much bigger.
A powerful thought to end on.
Definitely. So as you, our listener, reflect on this deep dive, what does that choice look like for you? What kind of world do you choose to perceive starting today?